going on, everybody? Frankie here with Mirth Films. In today's very special interview, we're here with Mike MacDonald of Strange Machines to talk about Playing with Fire, the latest album from Strange Machines. They've been putting out a couple of singles, including Parasite. And Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. And you got some beautiful guitars behind you here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for taking on time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so let's just get going here. You guys have had history in the jam band scene, but the music scene in the greater Northeast and beyond. And you've played your own headlining shows. You guys have supported some incredible acts over the years. What about playing in Strange Machines today with Craig, Ryan, and the rest of the guys makes it special compared to maybe 2019, 2020 pre-COVID? Is it a different feel? Are you more focused? Like what's the good news with Strange Machines?
Honestly, we're in the best place we've ever been in now. This is the longest running lineup since the band started in 2011. So we've been around for almost 15 years now, but I'm the only original member. Christian, the keyboardist, has been in it almost as long. He joined in 2013. But this is the longest steady lineup we've had. We've had multiple lineup changes, but since we've come back since COVID, this has just been, it takes a while. It's music like anything else. It's like getting to know somebody. It's a conversation. It's a musical conversation. So like learning each other, different little idiosyncrasies and things like that takes a while. But we're at a point now where we all very much know where everyone's coming from musically and on a personal level too. We're all very close now. Some of us have been for longer, obviously, but with like Claus, the newest guy in the band. And when he joined, Christian was not in the band. Christian has since returned since the pandemic. So it's been a lot of shifting back and forth, but now we're in a place where we just are all clicking on all cylinders, and especially going into the studio and doing this album, most of which I'd say 60 to 70% of the songs on this album are brand new. We've never played live or only played live maybe once or twice, like Parasite you mentioned earlier. So that was a real bonding experience for us and something we hadn't really done before. So this is, we're kind of in a place now where everything is just feeling exciting and new. And we're just like stoked to the nines about everything that's happening right now and how we're playing together as a band.
Now, something I always admired about you guys, you were a little more on the heavier side. I feel like jam bands just in general all get grouped in as a melting pot of music, which is a cool thing. But then also I think it's a generalization, and your guys' music stands out while it is technical, and you have those melodies. It's you can hear the crunch. There's distortion. I appreciate that. Your musical background, aside from, of course, you go down the list of all the great bands you see on festival lineups throughout the summer. But for you personally, is there some standout non-jam bands that just hit home for you?
Absolutely. I mean, I was not a jam band guy originally by any means. That was something I came into a little bit later on. That said, the band that got me into the jam scene is Humphreys, and that's my favorite of the jam bands. And you say, when you're talking about getting heavier, and that Humphreys is that band in the jam scene that gets heavy much more than most of the other bands do. But I mean, I love all kinds of music. I grew up my parents had incredible taste in music, luckily. So I grew up listening to everything from, all the classic rock stuff, Zeppelin, Hendrix, to blues like Albert King, B.B. King, Stevie Ray. I grew up listening to that stuff. My mom's favorite band is the Allman Brothers, so I grew up listening to that. But also like disco funk stuff. And I absolutely love the early 90s grunge scene and that music. Tool, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains are probably some of my favorite bands. So a lot of that heavier aspect comes from probably from that, because I still to this day listen to those bands constantly.
Now, with the having that background of music that you grew up with from the Allman Brothers to Albert BB, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, it seems like you have a wide array of what you listen to. And now for the rest of the band, you know, I know you can't speak for them, but I mean, when you're recording an album and you're putting out something like what you're putting out today, is that something that's a group mentality when you guys go and write, or is it something that just you're performing, you're practicing, you find a groove that sounds really good in practice, and you expand on it? Like when you enter the recording process for this album, what were you trying to achieve as a group?
Well, let me start by saying, I will say all the guys in the band, we just love music in general. It's not like none of us, it's like a genre specific thing. Like to me, and I think I can speak for the other guys too. If it's good, it's good. It doesn't matter what genre it is. So like we all have different tastes, but we all have overlaps on where we have things that we both or all of us love. Going into this album recording, while our previous album, Voice of Color, which was 2017, so it's been a while since we've done one. There's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the pandemic was a big thing, but we learned a lot of lessons from that album in terms of how we wanted to approach this one, because half the songs on that last one were, we went into it very much in the jam band mentality, where we were trying to do the things that we do live on the album. And a lot of those songs are like 10 plus minutes, which doesn't really translate the same on an album. Not to say that I'm not proud of that album as well. We are, but there was we wanted to really like trim the fat and be very intentional with how we executed all these songs. And if it seemed like it was meandering, or if it didn't need to be there, then we cut it. And we very much just tried to do for the song as much as possible on every track on this album.
That's awesome, man. And how excited are you guys to be sharing some of this new material, especially those longtime Strange Machine fans that you guys have? Have you gotten feedback from some people like that, or are you just hitting people cold with this stuff?
No, I mean, we've gotten feedback on the singles for sure. We've got 2 out now. We have another one dropping Monday, so it's and then the album comes out in a week after that. And the one we have dropping on Monday, I'm really excited for people to hear. We have horns come in for 2 songs on this album. One of them didn't end up making it onto the album, but we're going to release this as a single later in the year. But we got Lee Ross, who I don't know if you know, saxophone. Yeah, he's an old school homie. I've known him forever. I play in another band with him. And Mike Bafundo, who plays trumpet in Holly's band, and West End 10. So the single that's coming out on Monday, they're on that, which was really cool to get them involved in. But yeah, no, I mean, the feedback's been great. I mean, everybody, we shared the album with like some of our very close friends, and those people, the feedback has been stellar. I mean, everybody feels, the impression I've gotten is that everybody feels that we've matured a lot on this album. And I mean, granted, it's 8 years later, so I'd hope so. But we feel that way. So I think it's nice to hear that people that we have shown it to so far are feeling that way about it. And they're like, not just telling us that because they're our friends and they want to, tell us something good, but they're like genuinely into it. And like, I'll get texts from the people I've shared it with being like, man, I've been rocking this song all week, or I've had this song stuck in my head all week. I can't stop listening to it. And so that's a really great feeling.
Now, as far as promoting the music, but playing it live, do you guys have some dates coming up where people can come check out the new music after they've indulged on Spotify and other streaming platforms?
Yeah, yeah. So look, we're releasing it Tuesday, October 7th. And that weekend, right after that, the 10th and the 11th, we're bringing back this event that we used to do before the pandemic. We haven't done since, called Strange Days. It's a 2-night event we do in New Hampshire at the Stone Church. Excuse me. It's got a bunch of bands on it, a bunch of homies. Lee Ross, who I just mentioned, is on it. We got the Ed, Residual Grief, who are awesome band out of Connecticut, Young Cats. And our friends, the Hot Chachies, who are some of our best friends, and a couple other groups. But we haven't even announced that yet, but that's going to be the album release party, essentially. And then we have some other great dates coming up this fall. We're doing a couple shows with Pete Talking Fish. We're going to be out your way, Saratoga, with them in December in Burlington. Doing a show in Portland with Neighbor at the State Theater. And then we have 2 headline shows later in the fall. Hartford, and then we're back home, our hometown in Boston with we're doing a co-bill with Consider the Source.
Awesome, man. Sounds like it's going to be a great way to kick off this new era of Strange Machines. I mean, 2017 to now, I mean, you guys have grown a lot as a group. Band member changes, playing big shows. I know the first time I think I saw you guys was at Rock the Dock Music Festival 2018, and I was just blown away. And so it's so cool to just see, this music scene, it ebbs and flows. I think I'm now just experiencing that with having a decade under my belt of getting to be a part of all this. So to see people still push, do what they like to do. It's like we're all one big family. Everybody's a different character, and you go to a different town, different place, see the same faces or somebody you haven't seen in 5 years, and and it just all comes back. So,
totally, man. I mean, the scene's changed a lot, but it also has. I feel like the Northeast is just such a tight knit group of people in the jam scene, and I feel like anytime we go to a show, or even if I'm not playing, and I go to a show, it's like you're running into a million different friends who, it's no matter where you go, you're running into somebody.
What's the worst loadout you guys have had?
Worst loadout? Anywhere with stairs. Anywhere with stairs sucks. Stairs and no stagehands. Trying to think of probably, I don't know. There's a place we used to play in Northampton called Bishop's Lounge. It's on the 3rd floor. The elevator's broken half the time, and it's a tiny little room anyways, but we used to play that place all the time. We cut our teeth in that room. But that was probably the worst loadout venue that I can think of. That's the first one that comes to mind, at least.
Now we're all getting older here. We all gotta, stay on somewhat of a diet here. But when you have that guilty pleasure food and you're on the road, what are you getting?
Oh, I mean, I love all kinds of food, so I can kind of go with whatever. I love Mexican food. I love Thai food. The Christian and Craig are pretty healthy eaters. They're usually trying to find the vegan spot or the smoothie spot, which I can get down with too. But me and Claw are also garbage people. Me and Claw will find some hole in the wall place and eat the nastiest burger. I usually will go with whatever. I mean, it's usually try to keep a balance between how much garbage you eat and some healthy stuff too.
All right, just a couple more fun questions here. What's your opinion on the Reuben sandwich?
I'm not a sauerkraut guy. I can't do it. I'm not into pick, but I know that Claw and Craig love them. I think you asked me the same question a few years ago in an interview. No, it's all right. I know you're a big Reuben. Don't you have something where you go and rate Reubens?
Yeah, it's a stupid series that we started just to have a little bit of fun,
Yeah, for sure. I'm not a Reuben guy, but I know Craig and Claw are big into them.
Now, okay, some other extracurricular activities, whether it's watching sports, playing sports yourself, yoga, whatever it is? What keeps you sane when you need to step away from playing guitar?
I go for a lot of hikes. I'm a big hiker. I bike ride a lot too. That and just like hanging out with my friends. You know, and also just I'm a huge like movie guy. I love just, when I need a reset day, I'll binge watch movies. I love movies. So, Christian's a big yoga guy. Claw loves sports. I love football too. I'm big into football.
I'm guessing you're a Patriots fan.
I am, unfortunately, these days. I mean, but I grew up spoiled, so I can't really complain. I had a good 20-year run. So
no, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So sorry about last week.
Yeah,
Mikey,
I expected as much.
But yeah, we had our little run up until like 2010, and now I'm engaged to an Eagles fan. So now I have to root for
an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Yep, Claw's an Eagles fan. I gotta listen to those games and hit him, rooting them on in the car all the time on the way back from shows. And as a Pats fan, that kills me.
For sure. Well, you guys got the better of them back in 2005. So
yeah, for sure. Like I said, we grew up spoiled with that.
For sure. Now, things change as you get older. The music stays the same in some ways. But I feel like as you get older, time becomes more limited. So the time that you do have to play, what is the goal in 2025 and beyond with Strange Machines and with you, just as a musician?
I think our biggest goal is to be putting out more music. With this album and going into the studio. And one thing I hadn't even mentioned about this album was that, I don't know if you remember our old drummer, Isaac.
Of course.
So he's a studio guy now. He built this incredible studio in the barn in his backyard. Insane amount of time and money and energy into it. And just like teaching himself how to do it and be an engineer and a producer. And that's who we recorded the album with. So, and he's like a brother to us. He's one of my best friends. And so being able to still keep him involved with the band, working with him, he knows what we want. He knows what we want to sound like. I think is part of why this album came out so good. And it really awakened this thing in all of us where we were like, oh, well, we have this spot with like our old band member and best friend that we can just like go to, and the vibe is great, and we can just like create in a way that we've never been able to create before. And then we have like 3 or 4 other songs. So we're probably going to follow this up with another EP, I want to say in like 6 months, but don't hold me to that. But the main goal is to keep putting out recorded music, and they just keep writing, which we've been putting a lot more focus on too. I mean, I'm always writing. I'm the lead songwriter, but as a band too, it's like I get to points where I get stuck and I don't have any ideas. But as long as we get a ring together, I'll leave with something I can go home and build off of. And we actually just did that. We played Wormtown 2 weeks ago, and then we went to an Airbnb for 3 nights and just jammed. Didn't leave the house. Got groceries, didn't leave the house, and just like worked on new stuff. And we came out of there with a handful of new songs already. So
it's amazing.
So that's our main goal. I mean, like we always put a lot more emphasis into playing shows and stuff up until now, and which is why there was such a big gulf. I mean, obviously money's a factor too. But now that we have this spot with Isaac where we can go and record, and like, he's our homie, so it's not breaking the bank. And it's just a great vibe, and we can just go do that whenever we want to do that. And I think that's our main goal moving forward, is to just keep putting out music, because we're in a content driven world anyway. So and I think we realize how we can be like, how this brings out like some of the best parts of what we can do as a band by being in there.
All right, Mike. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview with Mirth Films, and looking forward to seeing your show December 5th with Pink Talking Fish. It always gets wild up in Saratoga Springs, and
Yep.
Playing with Fire got some singles out already. Dropping October 7th. Can't wait to listen to all the new material. And yeah, as always, just thank you for the time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the Strange Machines fam or just the world?
I just hope everybody enjoys the new album. I'm really excited for everyone to hear it because I can't stop listening to it. So I don't think we've ever been more proud of anything we've done. So I'm really excited for everyone to share this with everyone. So
Hell yeah, man. Cool.
I mean, thanks a bunch, Frankie. I appreciate it.